Did you know that entrapment in criminal law serves as an affirmative defense? It is created either by statute or court decision within a given jurisdiction, excusing a defendant from criminal liability for actions induced by the trickery of law enforcement officers or other government agents. To successfully utilize this defense, the defendant must demonstrate that without the objectionable police conduct, they would not have committed the crime, or that an ordinary law-abiding citizen might have been persuaded to do so under the same circumstances. Entitlement to this defense hinges on the actions taken by law enforcement. The essence of entrapment lies in the idea that the police could not create a crime and then punish an individual for committing it. This principle protects individuals from overreaching government tactics, ensuring fairness in the legal system. In practice, proving entrapment can be quite challenging. Defendants often need to present compelling evidence that they were not predisposed to commit the crime before the law enforcement agency intervened. Furthermore, the burden of proof may shift based on jurisdictional standards, adding complexity to these cases. Ultimately, the determination of whether entrapment occurred is typically left to the jury. They must consider the specifics of each case, examining both the actions of law enforcement and the behavior of the defendant to reach a verdict. This vital aspect of criminal law emphasizes the balance between effective policing and protecting individual rights. Legal precedents have significantly influenced how entrapment is understood and applied in court. Landmark cases set the standard for what constitutes entrapment and guide both defense attorneys and prosecutors in their arguments. As society evolves, the interpretation of this defense continues to adapt, reflecting changing views on law enforcement practices. Public awareness of entrapment has grown due to media coverage of sensational cases. These discussions encourage ongoing debate about the ethics of using trickery in law enforcement and its implications for justice. As society grapples with these issues, the understanding and application of entrapment will likely evolve, making it a critical topic in criminal law. The complexities of entrapment also encourage attorneys to meticulously prepare their cases. Understanding the nuances of this defense requires a deep dive into legal precedents and an awareness of public sentiment. Moreover, community involvement in such trials highlights the significance of transparency and accountability within the justice system. Educational initiatives are essential for demystifying concepts like entrapment for the general public. By informing citizens about their legal rights and the intricacies of affirmative defenses, communities can foster a more informed populace. This knowledge empowers individuals to better navigate the justice system and advocate for fairness in legal proceedings. Mock trials and community discussions serve as effective tools to illustrate the concept of entrapment in a relatable way. These interactive experiences not only enhance understanding but also encourage public participation in legal discussions. By fostering dialogue around entrapment, communities can promote awareness and ultimately contribute to judicial accountability. Legal experts play a crucial role in disseminating knowledge about entrapment laws and their implications. Through seminars and workshops, they help clarify how entrapment differs from other defenses such as necessity and duress. This comparative approach aids in demystifying these legal concepts and empowers individuals to engage more meaningfully with the justice system. In the courtroom, the role of the defense attorney is pivotal when arguing entrapment cases. They must effectively convey the nuances of coercion and manipulation to the jury, illustrating how their client was led into criminal behavior. Understanding key legal terms like inducement and predisposition becomes essential for both legal practitioners and jurors alike. The prosecution's presentation in entrapment cases often involves intricate arguments to counter the defense. They must convincingly argue that the defendant had a predisposition to commit the crime despite the police conduct. Meanwhile, jurors navigate a structured process during deliberation, weighing evidence and discussions to reach a fair verdict. The courtroom atmosphere can be thick with tension as pivotal moments unfold in trials involving entrapment. The judge and jurors must carefully consider the implications of each argument presented. Additionally, a historical perspective on landmark entrapment cases provides context for current legal standards, illustrating how past decisions influence present interpretations of the law. The moment a verdict is announced can be life-altering for defendants, evoking a range of emotions from relief to despair. Supporters often gather to express their solidarity, highlighting the personal stakes involved in such cases. The legal process for mounting an entrapment defense is intricate, requiring careful navigation from initial arrest through trial, emphasizing the importance of skilled legal representation. Community forums serve as vital platforms for sharing personal experiences related to law enforcement and discussing concepts like entrapment. These gatherings foster understanding and empathy while highlighting real-world implications of legal principles. Additionally, educational materials that outline individual rights during police encounters empower citizens to be proactive in protecting themselves against potential entrapment. Educational settings often engage students in case study presentations focusing on prominent entrapment cases. This analytical approach deepens their understanding of the legal system and its impact on society. Furthermore, an evolving timeline of entrapment laws across various states provides insight into how legal interpretations have shifted over time, reflecting societal values and concerns. Did you know that classic entrapment scenarios often involve aggressive tactics from undercover officers? In one scenario, an undercover officer repeatedly pressures someone to sell them drugs, initially facing refusal. However, after persistent offers of cash and emotional appeals, the person eventually succumbs to the coercion and sells the drugs, raising questions about whether they were truly intending to commit the crime or were manipulated into doing so. Did you know that this scenario raises critical questions about the ethical boundaries of law enforcement? The aggressive tactics used by the officer not only pressure the individual, but also blur the lines between opportunity and coercion, making it a classic example of entrapment in law enforcement practices. Did you know that the concept of entrapment can lead to significant legal debates? In this scenario, the aggressive approach of the undercover officer not only creates a circumstance for illegal activity, but also raises critical issues about an individual's rights and the role of law enforcement in influencing criminal behavior. Did you know that many legal systems have specific definitions for entrapment? In this case, the officer's manipulative tactics push the individual towards a choice they would not normally make, highlighting the controversial nature of such undercover operations in the fight against drugs. Did you know that these scenarios can lead to legal repercussions for the officers as well? When an undercover officer creates the crime through coercion, it opens up discussions on accountability in law enforcement, addressing the ethical implications of forcing individuals into illegal actions they would not consider otherwise. Did you know that classic entrapment scenarios often highlight the psychological toll on individuals? In this instance, the persistent pressure from the undercover officer not only leads to illegal action, but also leaves lasting emotional scars, showcasing the darker side of law enforcement practices. Did you know that these high-pressure scenarios can complicate future legal proceedings? When individuals are coerced into committing crimes, courts must grapple with the question of whether justice was truly served, as the integrity of law enforcement comes under scrutiny in entrapment cases. Did you know that many believe these scenarios can lead to wrongful convictions? When individuals act under duress, like in this case, it raises serious questions about personal accountability and the ethics of law enforcement tactics, influencing public opinion on the justice system. Did you know that this type of situation can spark community outrage? The aggressive methods used during entrapment scenarios often fuel debates about police conduct and accountability, as citizens question the morality of creating criminals rather than merely catching them. Did you know that the fallout from such operations can affect entire communities? The implications of aggressive entrapment tactics often extend beyond individual cases, contributing to broader societal tensions and discussions about the effectiveness and ethics of law enforcement strategies. Did you know that debates over entrapment can lead to significant legal reforms? In court, the effects of aggressive policing tactics like these may prompt discussions on how laws should evolve to protect vulnerable individuals from coercion and ensure fair treatment under the law. Did you know that public awareness of entrapment tactics can drive change? As communities become more informed about the consequences of aggressive law enforcement methods, advocacy for policy reforms may gain momentum, emphasizing the need for fair and just treatment in the justice system. Did you know that grassroots movements often emerge from cases like these? When communities rally together to address concerns about aggressive policing and entrapment, they can influence legislative changes aimed at protecting individuals from coercive practices and ensuring a fair judicial process. Did you know that education plays a crucial role in advocating for justice? Community initiatives focused on raising awareness about entrapment and individuals' rights empower citizens, fostering a more informed society that can better navigate interactions with law enforcement. Did you know that community activism can lead to substantial changes in law enforcement policy? Engaged citizens working together can create impactful movements, influencing policymakers to adopt more equitable practices that prioritize ethical treatment over coercion. Did you know that sustained activism can result in significant legislative changes? When communities unite and advocate for their rights, they can influence lawmakers to implement reforms that ensure ethical law enforcement practices and protect individuals from coercive actions. Did you know that political engagement can amplify community voices? After advocating for change, communities can see their concerns acknowledged by officials, paving the way for reforms that promote justice and fairness in law enforcement. Did you know that collaboration between communities and law enforcement can foster positive change? By engaging in dialogue and education, both sides can work together to create safer environments while respecting individual rights and preventing coercive practices. Did you know that educational outreach can bridge gaps between law enforcement and communities? Initiatives focused on mutual understanding and respect can empower citizens while fostering transparency and accountability in policing practices. Did you know that involving youth in discussions about law enforcement can shape the future? Encouraging young voices to participate in advocacy and education helps empower the next generation to uphold values of justice and equity.